Gregory Keane continues the story as a heavy lorry disappears south along Prince's Highway.
Carlotta planned her affairs well. Without the luck I had 7 hours ago at the punt at Bateman's Bay, we wouldn't have discovered her hideout for years. But Mike Guzik has led us almost to it. Where they are exactly and what their intentions are, we still don't know. But at this moment, we've a problem with the truck driver on our hands. But that's sorting itself out very smoothly, too. I left Cuts near the junction of a narrow dirt road and the highway while I raced to the nearest telephone to get Sherry on the scent. I needed another car. Sherry's expected hereabouts in about 5 hours, and in those 5 hours, Cuts and I have work to do. 5 minutes ago, I rejoined Tom Cuts, just as the truck came growling back along the narrow road to the highway. It's past us, and once again, our luck is holding. Louis Cortez was in the cab with the driver, and a car was following it close behind. We couldn't see who was driving, but it wasn't Mike Guzik, and that suits us down to the ground.
10 minutes to 8, Carlotta. Raffle and Louis should be back by midnight.
Oh, the lorry will have to drive slowly through the mountains. We may not see them till much later if they take it as far away as they have been told.
I still say I should have gone. I take a poor view of just sitting about here hour after hour.
I have told you I do not want you out of my sight.
Oh, yes, but for a few hours.
Not even for a few minutes, Felix. We are here. We appear to be safely hidden. But if you were to be away from me, I should be frantic till you returned.
Would you really miss me so much?
I have only you, Felix. Nothing in the world but you.
And something over £1 million.
One does not get what I need from money.
With that much money, my dear, one can get anything.
There is something in your tone I am not sure I like, Felix.
There is something in your insistence that I don't go away from you that I am not sure I like, Carlotta.
Explain yourself.
You want me close for your own comfort? Or for your own safety?
It is good of you to put the matter so bluntly.
Is that supposed to be an answer?
Of course I want you close to my safety. I don't wish to be alone here, hundreds of miles from anywhere.
That is not the kind of safety I had in mind.
Oh, you have been drinking too much.
Only enough to clear my thoughts.
Well, and for heaven's sake, say what you mean and be done with it.
You know, I can't get a certain paragraph of Nick Barnes' letter out of my head.
I thought we had ended our discussion of Nick Barnes' letter.
Barnes was so right. Barnes was so right when he said that only I could incriminate you in the affairs of the NightShade ring.
Nicky Barnes was a cretinous fool.
I think he saw us both better than we gave him credit for. There is not a single charge they could lay against you, my lovely creature. In no way at all could they prove that you were anything but an acquaintance of mine, unless I stood up before them and swore to the truth.
I will not listen. What you suggest is monstrous. You are trying to say that I want you close out of nothing but prudence, and you are wrong. Do you hear me? You are so terribly wrong.
I want to be.
What more can I do to convince you? I implore you, Felix, put Nicky Barnes out of your mind. Oh, you could not turn on me now. You could not possibly entertain such loathsome ideas if you loved me.
I shall not turn on you, Carlotta. I shall be close to you every moment till we arrive in Panama. I shall watch you from morning till night for your own safety. And mine. Be very sure of that, Carlotta, my dear.
Well, here they go, Cuts, on their way to get rid of the truck and its driver. Their car following so close behind to bring Louis to the hideout where they've done their work.
Nice blokes, Major. How far do we let them go?
Only a few miles. If there's any shooting, I don't want them to hear it from where they're hiding. And we still don't know how far they are from the main highway.
It's going to be a bit tricky, sir.
You couldn't be more right. We want to take them by surprise. We'll have a fight on our hands. And this is one moment of my life I don't want to collect a bullet.
Me neither.
Look here, we'd better tackle them on a steep hill. That truck must be carrying 30 tons if there's an ounce on it. So it'll be taking the hills at a crawl.
The slower the better.
I'll tell you what. When they slow right down, run up close behind them and pull in alongside the car. With no lights, the chaps in the truck won't know we're on their tail at all.
Now, look, why don't you take the wheel and let me handle it, Major?
We'll handle it between us, Cuts. Now then, when the truck and the car are going at a slow walk, run right up behind them and pull up. We'll both get out at the double. I'll nobble the cove driving the car, and as I do, you run alongside the cab of the truck on the left-hand side. Louis Cartes will get such a shock that he should be easy for you.
What do you want me to do with him?
We'll just stop the truck and get him out of it. Then we'll have a short conference on the side of the road.
Coming to hell of some sort now, by the look of it.
Right. Speed up a bit and draw in close. If it's going to be quiet and tidy, we have to get them when they're scarcely moving. This is all a darn nuisance, Cuts, but we have to do it to save the driver's hide. Got your Luger ready?
On safe with one up the spout.
Me too. I'll get going.
If I'm ever going to get out of this, now's the chance. Well, I'm doing about 2 miles an hour. These blokes are only here to bump me off and get one away from that house. If I open my door and jump for it now while I'm doing a slow crawl...
Not a move, Louis. Keep your hands where they are or I'll drop you cold. You at the wheel there. Pull up.
Who are you?
Don't argue the point, matey. Stop this truck. Not a move, Louis, unless you want to slug fair in the brisket. Hands on top of your head. That's me, boy. Right. All up. All up. Come on, both of you. Come on, Louis. Hop to it or I'll smart you. Hop.
All under control, Cuts?
All under control, Major.
I've got this one. Come on, fella, move. Who is he? Do you know, Cuts?
That's one I've never seen before, Major.
If it's not too much, just who would you blokes be?
The fellows that didn't want to see you murdered 100 miles further along. Louis, who's your chum?
Found out.
Come on, get the idea. The game's up. You two types have had it, so why act as though you had a feather to fly with? Who is he?
Factful.
All right. You and Verfull stand facing the truck and leaning on it with your hands. Go over them, Cuts.
Now, you first, matey. Now, let's see what you were going to do the driver in with.
What's your name, laddie?
Norm Griffin. And if you're not mates of these other two, am I glad to see it.
Oh, you've reasons to be. You're mixed up with some very tough people. What's your story?
Well, a fella called Guzik jumped aboard while I was making a hill about 50 miles before Bateman's Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a dope. I let him know there'd been a broadcast about him. He had a gun. I had to talk him through the cops at Bateman's Bay punt.
Well, I don't think anyone will blame you for that.
It's all right to be after a medal when you're wearing a khaki shirt, but I got a wife having her first baby in 3 weeks. I worked it out, mister. And what Guzik said was good enough for me.
Look, I'm not blaming you. I'd have done the same myself. You knew they were going to knock you off, I suppose.
I got the idea.
These two are skinned, Major.
Yeah, we'll hold him there for a few minutes. Now, listen, Norman. We watched you turn off the main road late this afternoon.
Oh, were you in that car that hung miles back all the way from the punt?
We certainly were.
I caught sight of you twice in the mirror, but I wasn't going to tell Guzik. And I wasn't game to hope for the best.
Yes, well, never mind about that. Where did Guzik take you along that narrow dirt road?
To a house hidden in a clump of trees, right down in the beach.
Who was in it?
I only saw two besides my company here. A tall, dark woman. Oh, you never saw such a line. She wasn't young, but I couldn't take my eyes off her.
Carlotta.
Who?
Was there anyone else?
A big, handsome bloke like a German general. I got a shufti at in the desert, going a bit grey at the sides.
Anything else?
Only an Alsatian dog, about the size of a calf.
Good man, that's something I wanted to know. So they took Carlo too, eh? Now make it brief, but tell me all you can about the road in from the highway.
Well, it's about 6 miles to the house altogether.
6.
For the first mile, it's thick natural scrub. At times, the track was so narrow, I didn't think the rig could go through. It winds uphill and down dale. Oh, and then you come to a pine forest. The road through the forest keeps twisting and turning, and when you get near the sea, it starts to go steep downhill.
How soon did you catch sight of the house?
Oh, not till you're almost on top of it.
What did you notice in particular? Have they only the one car?
As far as I could see.
Nothing else?
Well, the house faces a little horseshoe-shaped cove with a ruddy great headland on one side and another one almost as high on the other. And riding at anchor out in the cove's a motorboat.
Ah, how big?
Well, it's not a motorboat, speaking properly. It's one of these big cabin boats. You know, the kind you could go to sea for a month in.
So that's it. That's the answer.
Hey, you're leaving me in the dark a lot, mister.
You stay in the dark and like it, laddie.
But what happens now?
Well, that depends a lot on you.
Who and what are you? You and your mate with a Luger.
I'm a sort of policeman. Tom Cutts there used to be a sergeant of commandos. The point's this. I want to do something very special about those people down in the house by the cove, and I'm not going to be able to do it unless you give me a hand.
I'm alive, mister, thanks to you. Just name it.
I want you to get back in your rig and start moving. I want you to go on with the job as though nothing had happened. When someone says what held you up, I want to spin them a yarn about engine trouble or anything you like.
Don't I even go to the cops about Mike Music?
In 3 or 4 days, I'll be in touch with you, and you can tell your story then. For now, I want you to keep this thing to yourself. Can I count on you?
Well, a bloke tries to go by the rules.
Forget the rules. For 3 days, that's all I want you to do.
Well, all right. But I'd like to know one thing. What are you going to do to those people? The people in the house, are you going to kill them?
No, Griffin, I'm not going to kill them. I'm going to do something much worse to them than that. And so I am. I have their only car. That cuts them off by road. Soon they'll be cut off in every way. Soon they'll be enmeshed in the web of their own spinning. They'll be alone. Music, Huberman, Carlotta, and their million in loot. And then we'll see what they have left to fall back on. These last remnants of the NightShade ring.
Sherry Reed drives south along the highway in the next chapter of this story of intrigue, Deadly NightShade.